Telling truth in all things. Delivered by Source through Rene Avery, Messenger. We stand in truth in all things. We are telling what we are hearing and knowing. There is within the universe that which causes one to wonder who and when, to seek and to become. This series is to be aware and discover your place within yourself. It is an investigation into reality and where to go with it. This series is on the significance of 2012, the challenges and changes. It is presented by the Los Lunas Dowsers Association. Part 3, Discovery of Self.
Speaking of the body, is it going into transition as part of the Ascension 2012 process?
How do you define ascension?
I don't. It's a beingness of peace. What do you define it for yourself? What is it?
It's awareness.
You're
With God.
You're right. Absolutely.
I am that I am.
What's your definition?
I think that it's just, to me, ascension is becoming more aware or knowing that we're there. There's no big leap to another planet or leap anywhere. It's just
You're right.
knowing,
You're right.
being.
What's ascension to you?
Being aware.
Are you aware already?
Yes.
More aware, maybe?
And more aware.
Yeah, okay.
Increasingly aware.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
How about Ascension being never coming back to the third dimension?
Let me tell you something. Well, actually, we're in the fourth dimension. I don't know how many are aware of that, but we're in the fourth dimension going to the fifth. Because centuries, they've done this too. From 0 to 1 is 1. You see, from here to here. So they forgot to count that first one as 1. So we're actually fourth going to the fifth. Mm-hmm.
And aren't we in and out? I mean, truly, as we're moving in,
That can happen. Mm-hmm.
it's just,
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are already in the fifth. Some people are. I mean,
Have you been there?
I don't know.
Come on. Yeah.
isn't it just like a whole lot more than 5 dimensions anywhere?
Oh yeah,
Anywhere
actually there are
there
9.
is all-
God is 9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do a class called The Universal Investigation. And one night we were led to go there and we watched that dimension happen. And that's been within the last 2 years. So you can well imagine everybody, not just us, is expanding. Mm-hmm. And I asked, how could God get any smarter? Anybody got the answer to that one?
Everything is always
It is.
expanding and evolving.
Of course, just like we are.
It is.
Uh-huh,
And
yeah.
they, they've just literally found that the universe keeps recreating and opening up and getting bigger and bigger.
How do you know there's eternity? How do you know?
Just do.
Huh?
Just do.
Well, how about this? Every time God expands, we expand, and we've got to have more room. And that's what makes it expand. That's why the Big Bang Theory, they're all so happy about, oh, we found out how the universe started, oh my God, wrong. It's not about explosion, it's about expansion, and that's why we have eternity. It will always do that. As God learns, we learn. And as we learn, there's no more room. It's got to expand. And they've actually, think through infrared, they figured out how fast it's going out the edge, but it's going so fast in its growth, they can't really measure it. They can just see the effect. It's always going to be that way. It's never going to collapse, ever. May I ask your higher self what purpose you serve?
Love.
Well, but let me ask your higher self. Let's see. Okay? Just close your eyes. By the way, is everybody aware of your higher self?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's ask your higher self. Child of light and love, what we see is this. Your one has purpose. You're one who loves already. And so being here for love, not, you came in with that. You're here to help the turning go in peace. Yeah.
Ooh, a good old. You're here to help the turning. Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part.
Mm-hmm. All of the stuff going in, you're here for that. Yeah. You're already really loving when you came in. Yeah. Our higher selves are wonderful. Do you know what the biggest thing I'm going to do this guy with you guys. I think you're going to have fun with it. The biggest thing in this world that makes it what it is and its negativity and lovingness, that causes our earth plane the problems and the wars and all that. Anybody in this room, tell me something you're afraid of. Financial insecurity. Now close your eyes for me. You just went bankrupt. What's happening to you now?
A little pain.
A pain there, okay? Keep your eyes closed. Put your hand over your heart chakra. All right, now, what's the worst thing that could happen to you when that happened?
I could die.
You could die? Do you see that? What are you afraid of in death?
And it's not so much the death.
No, close
it's
your
the
eyes
se-
so you
it's-
can feel. Okay. Be truthful, no apologies. We do not judge here.
Well, my mind had an answer, but I wanted to feel just.
Well, let's see what your mind said, and then we'll go the other way.
My mind said I don't want to suffer.
Okay,
It's the
now
suffering,
feel
not the death too much.
suffering, the death, and the pain, and all that stuff. Okay, now feel inside your heart chakra.
And I forgot what the question.
You just went bankrupt. What's the worst thing that could happen? You
Oh,
said
yes,
die.
yeah.
And I said, what's the worst thing that could happen then?
Did I have to start all over? I don't want to start over.
You are an infinite creative being in this universe. And the only thing that takes that away from you is your fear. Now, what if you knew that that's not true, that you're infinite, you can create anything, you're a God consciousness? Close your eyes, and you are that now. Now where's the fear?
Well, it's a little smaller.
Oh, there you
thing
go.
Over here.
You're going the right way. Do you see? When you see who you are, there is no fear. Already it's going down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do, everybody close your eyes and we'll do this together, okay? Close your eyes. Child of light and love, we are a oneness. And in the presence, you are beautiful. There is nothing that you cannot do, nothing, when you remember you are magic and you are loved. Go in peace. There is nothing you cannot do, and if you're afraid of something, that's exactly what you do. I am deathly afraid of mice, or used to be. I learned how to run faster. My mother's afraid of it. It's a family tradition. You know, you see a mouse, you run. And I did that. In my retreats, I do that, where I ask people to go deeper, 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 what's next? And every time it'll be the fear of death. There is no death. Not. I was privileged to go through that transition with my dad. I followed him through. A cousin of mine who is like my brother, his mom and my mom are sisters. His dad and my dad are brothers. So we are brother and sister, actually. I went through his transition when he had cancer and was dying of cancer. Only problem was I was driving a car when it happened. And it was like my windshield disappeared. I saw Norm. I saw the bed he was lying on. The body that was emaciated was there. I saw him set up, and I saw the angels. You want to hear some incredible music. Oh, my God. And he was an engineer. He was curious about everything. And he's sitting up, and he looks like he did before he got the cancer, and there's an emaciated body on the bed, okay? And I saw him sit up, and he's looking around. He's looking like this, and I could see behind him this choir of angels. There had to be 50 or 60 of them, and they were making up the music while they were singing. I'm a singer, and I'd never heard anything like that. It was the most incredible thing I've ever heard. And I got really frightened that Norm was going to get so involved with this and what's happening with the body, he was going to miss that. And I started yelling, Norm, Norm, look up, look up, look up. And they just kept singing and singing. And then I saw him smile. Somebody took his hand, and he went. My brother, before he left in October, had a near-death experience. And he came back, and he told my mother, you will not believe what I saw. He transitioned 2 nights later, and my mom said he's okay. He knows. She was crying, but she knew he was okay because he saw. And he told her what he saw when he died. They hit him with the paddles and brought him back. And he gave him instructions, do not hit me with those paddles. For every one of you, when you feel fear stopping you, find out what the fear is and then take it to its worst. Because you will always find that that will be death, and that doesn't exist. Do you see? So what do you do with that if you're still in fear? What would you do with that? If the fear is more than the truth to you in that moment, what do you do?
Well, what I've always known is fear is false evidence appearing real. And so when you look deeper into it, then you're going to find the truth. And it is, well, you know, this right here may be terminal, but nothing is terminal in life.
I'm not even sure about that. You know why?
Well, yeah,
If
if
you
you
le-
something else, yeah.
Yeah, if you let it go, and we did like the Indians did, and go dig a little hole and let the cells and everything recycle, they're still there, and the energy's still there.
That's right.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ego, you know, even should.
Oh, well, yeah. This is a wonderful calculator. It's one lifetime old. If you're buying a car and figuring out if you can afford it, use it. Otherwise, if you're thinking about spirituality, you use this. Spirituality is the truth of who we are, and we know it, and it's right here. All you have to do is this and the dowsing, and you'll know what to do with it. Okay? And so, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. When your head goes, oh God, I'm going to die, and now I have to, and we break every universal law. 3 of them I gave you. They're out throughout the universe. You break one, you break them all. And I challenge anybody to show me how, if you break the law of love. What's the law of love?
It's a universal law.
I'm sorry?
There is no law higher than the law of love.
That's right. And what's the law of love?
God.
God, yay! Yeah. So it means to see God in everything. Okay? That's what love is. When I was told that, it was in my office, and I was meditating, and I have this, I'm sure all of you probably have one, that metal filing drawer thing, you know, the metal with 4 drawers and that. Sitting there, I looked up and I went, no way, no way. Everything's of God. Nah, I don't see God in that file cabinet. As a matter of fact, sometimes I like to kick it across the room because it's not doing what I want. It's lost something. It's eaten something that I needed. Yeah, and I was told, is it metal? Yep. That's of Mother Earth. Yep. Mother Earth is of God. Yep. Sorry. Yeah. So just remember that you are a manifestation of God, and God is forever, and God is love. And therefore it would be a sorry joke of God to say, sorry, bad joke. No, it'll never happen. You will never not exist. And where we are now is a bit of a trial, but all of you chose to be here. As a matter of fact, I was told something really interesting. It was hard to believe. Everybody here in Earth plane stood in line to be able to be here because of what's happening. So if you stood in line, yep,
Stood in line?
you stood in line. That's what's wrong. You didn't stand long enough. What we are doing is an incredibly loving thing. We're becoming more God conscious. There are those in the universe that are not as aware as you. You have chosen to come back at this time for the beauty of what's happening. And we had to stand in line. There were a lot of souls that wanted to be here. You won the lottery. Yeah. So remember that. You asked to be here. There's not one of you didn't ask. And this is a very unusual thing that happens in the universe, what's happening to us now. So when you take a look at it, and in these times, you're needed for your prayers, for your love, for your God consciousness, in order to make it so that we can all evolve in Earth plane. Mother Earth is evolving. Did you know that? Yeah. Sure. And so it's something that happens very rarely in the universe, and it's exciting. It's exciting. May sound a little scary, but with you, the trick you know now, it doesn't have to bother you.